probably the best baseball he's thrown all year long.
Yeah, nobody's been better the last 14 games. He's in the top of all of baseball in innings pitched. He's just been outstanding with a 2.21 ERA throughout the 14 games. And you're right, he seems to be really falling into the groove.
A couple of player moves. The Reds have placed Kyle Farmer on the injured list with a left oblique problem, and that has opened up a spot on the roster for shortstop, second baseman, jack of all trades, Jose Peraza. And Wandy Peralta is no longer a member of this Reds club.
Yeah, they've let him go. It's good to see Peraza back up here. He's kind of been the guy that they've moved all over or not moved when a new player came, and it's good to see he went down and kept his head up, swung the bat really good when he was down at Louisville for a short period of time. But, yeah, that makes room for somebody else. Wandy Peralta was given a lot of opportunities, Marty. He just wasn't able to get the job done.
Trevor Bauer standing down behind the mound, collecting his thoughts as a leadoff batter, Corey Dickerson, heads toward the left-handed batter's box. Our first pitch, as always, presented by Belterra Park, Cincinnati. One amazing place to play. Bauer, 9-8 overall, 1-4 as a Cincinnati Red with an earned run average of 8.4. The league batting .311 against him, and boy, he's got a lot of room for improvement as he delivers, and Dickerson takes a strike, and this game is underway. 84 degrees, our game time temperature here in downtown Cincinnati. 1 strike and nothing to count on the .310 batting Corey Dickerson. And the wind and the pitch, and that one is a swing and a foul, and the count's 0-2. There may be people who are looking at this addition of Trevor Bauer with some trepidation and concern given the way he has pitched. I personally feel that if he wears a red uniform come opening day next year, you're going to see the Trevor Bauer that more often than not people saw in the American League.
Well, I happen to agree with you.
Yeah, I don't think you can have a track record the kind that he had pitching in that league and then come over here and be bad from now on. I simply don't believe that. High pop-up caught by the third baseman Blandino, and that takes care of Corey Dickerson for the game's first out. Here's catcher JT Realmuto. He had the night off in the opening game of this series. Andrew Knapp caught that one, but he was back in the lineup last night, and he had 2 hits, and he had a sac fly, and he scored a run and stole a base. And that pretty much is the essence of what kind of player this young man is, batting .276. 20 homers and 72 runs batted in. Bauer rocks on the GABP mound, delivers, high pop-up, headed toward left field. More than a pop-up, going back and looking skyward and making the catch. A step in front of the warning track is Phillip Ervin, and I'm here to tell you that JT Realmuto just missed that pitch.
He sure did. I thought it was a pop-up, too, and then it goes back to the warning track. But one thing we're seeing out of Bauer right now, he is pumping fastballs for strikes.
So 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring up right fielder Bryce Harper, who carries an 11-game hitting streak into this game. He extended the streak last night with a single and a run batted in, and the RBI was significant because it gives him 100 on the season to go with already 30 home runs and a whole boatload of games to improve upon those already impressive numbers. So he stands in with 2 out as Bauer goes for the 1-2-3 first to the left-hand batter, and that pitch is taken a bit inside for ball 1. The right-hander studies the sign and winds and pitches, and that one's a bit inside. It counts 2 balls and no strikes. Waiting on deck is cleanup batter, first baseman Rhys Hoskins. And that pitch is taken for ball 3. A good friend Jim Day down there, I just called him to see how things were going. And he checked his phone and saw that Marty was calling him. So all's right with the world for my boy down there now. 3-0 the count with 2 out in the inning, and Harper takes ball 4. So Trevor Bauer did not throw a strike. And as a result, Harper's on because of 4 straight pitches out of the zone, and now the power threat, 1 down at first, to be replaced, but in the other batter's box in right-handed hitting first baseman Rhys Hoskins with 2 out and a runner aboard. Hoskins kicked this series off in royal fashion on Monday night, pounding 2 home runs and knocking in 3 runs. Last night, a sac fly to drive in a run, so he's got 27 homers and 79 runs batted in. And Bryce Harper and Rhys Hoskins give this ball club a pretty good 1-2 tandem in the middle of their batting order. 1 strike and nothing. Plate umpire tonight, Tom Woodring, with crew chief Gary Cederstrom at first, Quinn Wolcott at second, Marvin Hudson, the umpire, over at third. The Reds shift to the left side of the infield. Hoskins, big, strong right-hand batter, and he can hit the ball a long way. Now the pitch, and he swings and pulls it wide of third, played by Blandino, and the quick flip on to Josh Van Meter to gain the force out on Bryce Harper.
They want to hear your story tomorrow afternoon at 3 on 700 WLW.
Now the bad native of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and Louisiana State University goes to the post tonight for the Phillies. 12-4 in 29 starts, a 3.45 ERA, but that baby has been diving almost by start. He'll go to work on Josh Van Meter as we head to the Reds' first inning, and the pitch is taken for a strike. Doug mentioned the last 14 starts for Nola, a 221 earned run average. And in those 93 2/3 innings of pitching covering those 14 starts, he's punched out 104. That pitch is fouled up and out of play, and he's held opponents to a 183 batting average. This goes back to the 21st of June. So to say that the Reds, who have been slumping mightily from an offensive standpoint, had their work cut out for them tonight, that would be categorized as a gross understatement. Van Meter, a 260 batter, behind in the count, 2 strikes. As 6'2" Nola turns it loose, and that's up and outside a ball. There's a term in baseball when a person is referred to as a green fly. That is a person who is constantly all over players and scoping them out, and getting autographs.
Uninvited, by the way.
Uninvited. Well, I hate to say it. That pitch is a breaking ball for strike 3, and that locks up leadoff batter Van Meter and brings up Joey Votto. And during the commercial break, Jim Day was down there on the stairwell railing just staring into the Reds dugout. Might have a little GF in him.
Well, he might. Surely word will get to him that you said that. You think?
I can't imagine. Here's Votto with 1 out. And the wind up in the pitch. And that hangs up and outside for ball 1. And the pitch, and that's way inside a ball. And the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. We are 0-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. If you joined us a little bit late, the Phillies got a walk to Harper in the first, but that's it. Here's a fly ball hammered back into deep left center field. That's gone. Votto hits a line drive out of here over the no-co sign in left center field, and that baby got out of here right now. Number 14 for Joey Votto, and the Reds have jumped out here in the first inning 1-0 on a bomb by the Reds' first baseman. So Votto lights up Aaron Nola. That's a 23rd home run that Nola's given up this season, and he is the type of pitcher that will give up home runs. His control more often than not is pristine. And that time he made too good a pitch, and Votto burned him. Here's our Aquino, and that pitch, a breaking ball on the inside corner for a strike. That home run by Votto traveled an estimated 395 feet. The Reds' home run powered by NOCO. NOCO start dead batteries. The right-hander with a wind and onto the plate. And that's strike 2 call. Votto delivers the Reds' first run of the game. The first run delivered to you by Integrity Express Logistics, your hometown logistics professionals. Visit IELFreight.com. Swing and a miss. He disposes of Aquino on 3 pitches. So a strikeout, a home run, and another punch out. And now here's Tucker Barnhart with 2 out and the run in. As we mentioned, first time in his big league career, he is batted in the cleanup spot. He is a .250, .237 batter with 9 homers and 36 runs knocked in.
We need to play a little add-on tonight. We've had the lead on the last several games. Tonight, we need to score in several innings. I like it when they play add-on.
So does every manager in baseball. There's a foul ball. Reds scored in the first inning last night. They scored in the second inning on Monday night. Here's a swing and a miss, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Short night for these ball clubs. Well, with having a 12:35 game here tomorrow, just a bit high for a ball. Then we get back to the more conventional 7:10 start time on Friday night when the Reds welcome in the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's amazing. They don't play that team the entire season, and then they play all of them in the final 3 weeks of the season. 3 here, and then that will be the middle stop of that 3-city road trip that will commence Tuesday night in Seattle. They then would go from there after 3 to Phoenix, and after 3 against the D-backs, they finish it off with 3 in Chicago. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Check swing at a full count. Nola's run the string out on Barnhart with Freddie Galvis, the ex-Philly, waiting on deck. And there's ball 4. So a 2-out walk extends the first inning for the Redlegs, and here comes Freddie Galvis. Since coming over from Toronto, he's hammered 4 home runs. He has batted .256. He has reached the total of 22 home runs collectively between the 2 ball clubs, which represents a single-season career high for this young man. He's a switch hitter, batting left-handed. Nola, big leg kick onto the plate strike.
Iglesias looks so good at short, but from everybody that we've talked to, they say that Freddie Galvis can play equally as well at shortstop.
Yep, they do. Now the stretching onto the plate after the check of Barnhart. And Galvis swings at it, and the count's 0-2. Came to the uppermost reaches of the strike zone right there, did Nola. And Galvis could not catch up to it. Tucker Barnhart, hands on knees, a short lead at first against Hoskins. And he checks his swing on a, oh, they said he went. That's a strikeout. That's a tough call by third base umpire Marvin Hudson. And that'll be a punch out, and that'll be 3 of them in the first inning for Nola. The Reds get to him for a run on the Votto home run. 1-0 Reds. 1-0 Reds after 1 inning. First up for the Phillies here in the second is shortstop Gene Segura, followed by Scott Kingery, and then the second baseman Cesar Hernandez. Trevor Bauer walked a batter in the first, but that's the extent of the offensive damage that the Phillies were able to inflict upon him, and he throws high ball 1 to Segura as we welcome in our good friend. And we hope yours from The Athletic, and that would be C. Trent Rosecrans.
Mr. Brenneman.
How's school going back on the home front?
Oh, fantastic. As far as I'm told. She doesn't like to share much.
She really doesn't. Well, that's okay. No news is good news.
No news is good news.
That's very true.
Accurate.
Yeah.
So all is well as far as I know. No news is good news, and ignorance is bliss.
That's it. That's the first time I ever heard anybody say that. So I'm going to write that down and remember it. Here's a pitch foul back.
This down. You want to remember that?
No, I don't want to remember that. That's like a nightmare. 1-2 on a foul back by Segura. Interesting take from a journalistic standpoint, on the start that young Aristides Aquino has had as a Cincinnati Red. And you go to a couple of guys, a matter of fact, but one in particular in the opposing dugout, because to some extent he's gone through the same thing that Aquino is going through right now, and that's Philadelphia first baseman Rhys Hoskins.
You know, it's pretty amazing. Like all this, you get those updates every time he does it. He homers, and it's like fastest to
infield base hit by Segura out behind the second base bag. Good play by Freddie Galvis, but the speed of Segura legs it out, and that'll bring up third baseman Scott Kingery.
You know, every time he hits another home run, and it's like the fastest to this many home runs and X amount of plate appearances. It's always been Rhys Hoskins that he's
right.
Whose record he's breaking. Hoskins did this 2 years ago. And so I just kind of went up. I wanted to talk to Rhys just because this unprecedented run that he's on, the only person who has any kind of idea what it's like to come up to the majors and do this is Rhys Hoskins.
Right.
And so it was kind of interesting. And he talked a lot about how he had struggled before. So he knew well enough that this wasn't going to last forever.
Yeah.
You know, he said, for a while I know how Mike Trout feels. Said for a month he knew how Mike Trout feels. And it was funny. He was telling me his story, and I looked it up, and he got all the dates right. He's like a 3-game series against the Cubs. He just remembers hitting homers in the first two games of that series in his first at bat. In the third, he punches out a couple times against Lackey, and he just said, "I knew it was coming. It didn't matter. I wasn't nervous or worried about anything because the way things were going, I was going to do it." And he said, in the 8th, Koji Uehara comes in and he homers. And goes, just how you feel. It's this weird calmness that no matter what you're going to do, it's going to come and you're going to hit a home run. And he's like, it was the weirdest thing ever, but he also was aware enough that he knew it wasn't something that was normal.
Right. Here's a strikeout swinging by Kingery, and that's the first punch out of the game by Trevor Bauer. You go to work on second baseman Cesar Hernandez with 1 out and a runner aboard. And then the other part of it is Jay Bruce had a very, very impressive first week or so in the big leagues as a Cincinnati Red.
Right. We remember when Jay, and the difference is, and this is what Jay talked about, the difference was Jay Bruce had never struggled.
Right.
And it's funny because some guys will say that, or I don't know that guys will say that, but he's not bragging. You look at his minor league numbers, he had never struggled. And he said he didn't know whether it was just he was Mike Trout before Mike Trout, that he was that good until a couple weeks in and it started getting harder. And so it was hard to adjust. And one of the real interesting things he said was he was really glad, because this was what? Was that 07? Or no, that was 08.
08.
He was really lucky that a little bit later in his career, he got to be around Scott Rowland.
Yeah.
And he said being around Scott Rowland and Joey Votto helped him so much, even though they came up together and they were kind of peers.
Yeah.
But he said he just went out and had fun. He played baseball. And he said watching those guys and being around those guys, he learned to get a routine. And that was part of it. But he said it was devastating that he had so much trouble. He actually struggled And to do it for your first time at this level, you hear guys all the time in departments say, oh, we want them to struggle before this.
Yeah.
And that is why, because the game isn't that easy. But when you were Jay Bruce at that time, the minor leagues just didn't challenge him. Aristides Aquino is a guy who's been challenged. He's felt those struggles. I think Doug Flynn's scorebook has the cover, "This game's not that easy," and a picture of Doug Flynn. Doug made it look real easy on one side of the ball.
I'll take that.
You did. and so it's one of those things that Reese just said, he was really glad, because if you look at it, he had that great start with like 18 homers in like 35 games or whatever it was. And then he went the rest of the season without a home run. And he said he was so glad he got that under his belt, because it allowed him to, he's like, I don't know what would have happened if I would have gone into the next season thinking I was that good. So we shall see. Aristides Aquino hasn't gotten that at the big league level yet.
No. Here's a swing and a ground ball to second. Nice play, Van Meter on to Galvis, on to first. Big time double play right there. That ball was scorched. And a good play by Van Meter, and from that point on, it was routine as the Reds turn a double. Irvin stands in to lead off the bottom of the second inning. Aaron Nola's first pitch to him is taken up and in for ball one as we take a look at our Cincinnati Bell trivia question of the game, and I don't know that you'll ever have an easier question than this. Text the word vote along with your answer of A, B, or C to 66128 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, $25 Skyline Chili gift card, a $25 Dunkin' Donuts gift card, and a free haircut from Great Clips, brought to you by Cincinnati Bell, connecting what matters. 2-0 the count. A mainstay of the Phillies pitching staff from 1976 to 1983. Swing and a miss. Ron Reed was a two-sport athlete who also played in the NBA from 1965 to 1967. What NBA team did Ron Reed play for? Was it A, the 76ers, B, the Cincinnati Royals, strike call, or C, the Detroit Pistons? Ron Reed.
Know him well.
2-2 the count on Irvin, a 3+100 batting average. And that one, a breaking ball in the dirt to run the count full. I can tell you this question is causing you to pause and step back and think a little bit.
I'm eliminating one, but there's two. 76ers, Pistons.
76ers, Royals, and Pistons. A, B, C. Here comes a payoff pitch. That's a strikeout swinging. So an inning and a third under the belt of one Aaron Nola, and the 4 outs that have been recorded have all been strikeouts. Here's center fielder Brian O'Grady with 1 out.
Let's go. I don't know this. I'm going with Detroit Pistons.
That would be C.
Yes, sir.
So that's your answer.
Yes, sir.
That's not subject to change, correct?
Who said that?
Well, last night you were...
Well, I was dead on last night, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll revisit it in the 8th inning.
Okay.
1 ball and no strikes. We want to send along a great big thank you to the folks at the farm out on Anderson Ferry Road, and in particular Dan L. Sizer. They sent fried chicken, they sent mashed potatoes, they sent green beans, coleslaw, rolls,
gravy.
You say it, we play it. And I want to tell you, it was some kind of sensational.
If you haven't visited the farm, you're making a huge mistake.
And if you're going to go on an empty stomach and pig out on fried chicken. Because it will light you up like a Christmas tree. Amen. It's so good. 2239 Anderson Ferry Road on the west side of Cincinnati. Again, thanks to Dan L. Sizer and the folks over there. The food, especially the chicken, was out of sight.
They take care of us. All our fantasy camp boys come up for once a year.
Yes, they do.
Big
That's
banquet
good.
there. Yep.
1-2 on a left-handed batting O'Grady. And he swings and fouls. You come see the Reds, be sure you've downloaded Ballpark. It's the official GABP app. Check in at the game to unlock special offers, exclusive content, and seat upgrades. Download Ballpark for free and play Baseball Bingo, presented by Dynegy. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and holding O'Grady. And the times he's been up with the ball club, and it's been more than once. He's been up and down a number of times this season, 12 at-bats and 1 hit. The pitch on the way, and it's a swing and a fly ball hit back into center field, hit deep. That ball hit way back and off the top of the wall. It bounces by the center fielder, and O'Grady will roll into third base with a stand-up triple. That ball missed by no more than maybe 1.5 or 2 feet from getting out of here. Adam Hazley didn't play that ball very well off the center field fence at all. He had no chance of catching it, but he continued to race toward the wall, and when he got to the fence, the ball hit off the wall and kicked right back toward the infield, enabling O'Grady to advance an extra base. So he's now standing at third base with his first big league extra base hit. And the pitcher, Trevor Bauer, stands in. The infield is in. Bauer has had 2 official at-bats, or 9 at-bats with 1 hit, and he waves at a breaking ball. Runner at third base, 1 out. Reds with a 1-0 lead, trying to get that runner in from third, and he checks his swing on that pitch. And the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. O'Grady down the line. Bauer bats him as he throws him. Nola sights a sign, dropped down by JT Realmuto, and brings it. And that's taken low, ball 2, 2-1. In the windup game tomorrow, Sonny Gray goes after his 11th win of the season. Jason Vargas, a left-hander, will get the ball for Philadelphia. And the reminder, tomorrow gets underway at 12:35 here. 2-1 to count on Bauer. And ball 3. I think if you could get inside the head of Aaron Nola right now, he would tell you that he is not throwing the ball as well as he can.
You wonder sometimes, are you trying to be too careful, or are you just not able to control it right now?
3-1 pitch. Here it is. And that's ball 4. He walks Trevor Bauer, and that is a major plus right there in the favor of the Redlegs. That puts him at first and third, and now the onus is on the shoulders of third baseman Alex Blandino. Hitless in 2 at-bats. Picked up an RBI last night, or the night before. And he stands in now to try and, or actually in the 8th inning last night, a sac fly to drive in a run. And now here he is, first and third. And the pitch, a breaking ball off the plate, ball 1. Phillip Ervin struck out to begin the inning, but then O'Grady tripled off the wall in center. Bauer received in base on balls. The infield has dropped back now to double play depth, and Blandino waves at it. Breaking ball, 1 strike. One to count. Nola gloved hand on left knee. Blandino stays right in that right-hand batter's box. Bat cocked tie, waiting on the 1-1 pitch. And he jammed him, and he fouls it straight back. This is the kind of situation against a guy like an Aaron Nola. You cannot fail in this situation here when you've got a chance to make it a 2-0 ball game. You simply have to figure out a way to get that runner in from third base.
Yep. I think he got a pitch up that ran in on him that time. He thought he might be able to drive, but it beat him.
Now, you're not facing chopped liver tonight, so you got to take advantage of the situations when they come up. And he did not do it. Strike 3 call on the inside corner. Leadoff batter, Josh Van Meter for the second time. He struck out in the first inning looking. That win last night by the Phillies enabled them to remain 2.5 games back of the Nationals and the Chicago Cubs, who are in a virtual tie for the wild card, top of the list of the wild card race. That pitch is off the plate and low for a ball. So Philadelphia just hanging in and hoping to get some help from some other people while at the same time continue their winning ways. They've certainly enjoyed a good stay so far here at Great American Ballpark. Now the pitch. Line drive, foul down the first base line. It's a ball to strike. Game's underway tonight. The Pirates trail 1-0 in the first inning at home against Miami. The Cubbies are off tonight. And the Milwaukee Brewers are also enjoying a day off. 1 ball and 1 strike. First and third occupied. The pitch swung on and fouled.
Last night that game seemed so unusual with all the guys coming out of the pen, but for the Phillies so far this year, that was their 5th game of the year where their bullpen has tossed 6 or more innings and given either 1 run or no runs.
That'll get it done. That'll get it done. Their starter last night, of course, was able to go only 3 innings, Vince Velasquez, and that bullpen did a solid job. Van Meter behind to the count and hits it up the middle and into right center field, a base hit, and the run is in, and the runner advances to third on the RBI base hit. Big 2-out single and a pick-me-up for the Redlegs off the bat of Josh Van Meter, and the Reds indeed take a 2-0 lead. Bauer comes around to third, and the inning continues for Joey Votto, who took Nola out of here with a line drive home run into the lower deck and left center in the first inning. Now the stretch and the pitch. Votto takes strike on the inside corner. One-out triple by O'Grady, a base on balls to Bauer, and a 2-out RBI single by Van Meter, who knocks in his 20th run. Votto down a strike, hitting against a straightaway outfield, and pretty much the same as far as the infield is concerned. That pitch is strike 2 call. Velasquez's pitch count is already at 45, and he's not out of the second inning yet. Now the pitch. Swung on and hit down the right field line. That's another Votto hit. Ball goes to the wall. 1 run will score And it'll be an RBI double for Joey Votto, and the Reds lead it 3-0. He got a high fly ball deep into right field. The right fielder, Harper, was shading Votto toward the power alley and right. A normal defensive alignment, and the right fielder has a chance at catching that ball, but Harper didn't because of where he was positioned. And the Reds have done this all with 2 outs in the inning and now have a 3-0 lead. And Chris Young, per instruction from manager Gabe Kapler, has gone to the mound.
I got to think that slider and the breaking ball was supposed to be down and in a little bit more, but as it started coming in, we had a good look of Joey pulling those arms in. He couldn't extend, but he was able to get the bat head out in front of the ball. We've seen him do that so many times.
So Votto already enjoying a big night with a home run and a double. And 2 runs batted in. They're at second and third now. And here's Aristides Aquino. And his first time up against Nola, he was struck out routinely by the Philadelphia Philly right-hander. Now let's see how Aquino fares the second time around with 2 runners in scoring position. Nola will continue out of the stretch. He delivers to Aquino, and the pitch is swung on and pulled fair over third. Down the line it goes. 2 runs are going to score, and Aquino ends up at second with a double, and the Reds now have a 5-0 lead. That ball was dead over the center of the bag at third. No question about it being a fair ball, and the third base umpire, Marvin Hudson, wasted no time signaling fair. So this impressive young outfielder ups his RBI total now to 37 and another 2-out run scoring hit in what has turned into a 4-run second inning.
He didn't waste any time letting Nolan get ahead of him that time. He saw the first pitch he got looked like a little off-speed pitch, and well, you said he pinpointed it right over the bag.
So now Tucker Barnhart, who walked in the first inning. He's back, and he takes a strike. Rough start for 12-game winner Aaron Nola. The 1-strike pitch, and that's just a bit inside to even the count. Fans at Kroger, it's easy to place your order online and pick up at the store. Try it tonight, try it tomorrow at Kroger.com. A ball, a strike on the Reds catcher. Aquino leading at second base. The high hold onto the plate. Swung on and lifted out of play over and beyond the third base dugout. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tucker Barnhart, the 8th man to bat in the inning, and I'm sure Nola had to feel pretty good about himself when he struck out Alex Blandino for the second out of the inning with runners at first and third, but then it started. Van Meter, RBI base hit. Votto, run-scoring double. Aquino, 2-run, 2-base hit. Swing and a miss. Fouled the ball at the feet of catcher Real Muto, and it'll stay at a ball and a couple of strikes on Tucker Barnhart. One ball, 2 strikes, and holding. And now Barnhart backs away from the plate. It is now a 51-pitch ball game for Aaron Nola. And, of course, this not-so-hot beginning falls on the heels of a night in which the Phillies used 7 pitchers last night to author the 6-2 win. Ground ball up the middle, but that's exactly the way Segura was playing him, and the shortstop throws him out. The Reds sent 8 men up, and 4 of them scored.
After running the bases, and he had to do a lot of running. Reached on a walk and then eventually came around to score. Also, Bauer had to go first to third on Van Meter's RBI hit. It was a big hit for Van Meter. He singled home Brian O'Grady, and that would be the first of 4 Reds runs they would score in the second inning. The Reds are now leading the Phillies 5-0. Adam Hazley bats, leading off the Phillies third. Hazley batting for the first time tonight against Trevor Bauer, who's allowed a single and a walk. He goes to work against Hazley, who takes ball 1.
That's that add-on we were talking about.
That was a pretty good add-on.
Yeah. And that's fun. You know, they say have fun playing this game. Well, when you have innings like that, you have fun.
Hazley turns on it, belts it, but foul down the right field line. 1 ball, 1 strike. They looked like they were having some fun out there. Saw some enthusiasm.
Like what came first, chicken or the egg? What came first, winning or having fun?
They tend to go pretty hand in hand.
I would agree.
1-1 pitch. Down and in to Hazley. 2 balls and a strike. Reds with an interesting infield alignment against the Phillies center fielder. Freddie Galvis playing almost behind second. The second baseman, Van Meter, way over in the hole. The pitch down and in. It's 3-1. Votto back, but Alex Blandino was playing in at the cut of the grass between second and third, and now with a 3-1 count, he'll back up. The Reds infield way back all the way around. Bauer's 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. And that was a pretty good pitch from Bauer. Good fastball up over the outside corner. Filling up the count, 3-2. Steps back, winds, deals the pitch. Popped into center. Over is Brian O'Grady. He's under it, and he'll make the catch. It's the first out of the third inning. An easy play for Brian O'Grady to retire Hazley ahead of the pitcher, Aaron Nola.
I'm just thinking, if you haven't kept up, you know, listen to every game, and you turned on the ball game tonight and you listen to the lineup, it may be one that you are not totally familiar with.
A little different tonight.
Yep.
Getting some guys in there. Freddie Galvis getting a chance to play short. First pitch to Nola's low and outside, ball 1. This is a pitcher that is not exactly known for his bat work. 098. He does have 5 hits, but spread across 51 at bats. The 1-0 pitch. He rifles this over short, though. That's into left center field, and that's going to plug the gap. Irvin's over to cut it off, but Nola's going to cruise into second base, and he has himself a double. So much for not being known for the hit, or for the stick. 6th hit of the year for Aaron Nola. Brian O'Grady getting a chance to start tonight in center field. He was in the original lineup, but he was slated to play left. Nick Senzel was a late scratch. Phillip Irvin was inserted into the lineup in left, and they moved O'Grady to center. Josh Van Meter getting the start at second. Freddie Galvis plays short. And getting the night off tonight is Jose Iglesias. Bauer to the plate to Corey Dickerson, who swings and fouls it off the plate, nearly spinning himself all the way around at strike 1. And we've seen Kyle Farmer in at third base a little bit these last couple of games with Eugenio Suarez out, but Alex Blandino getting the start today, and we found out later that Farmer has been placed on the injured list with a left oblique injury. Now the home plate umpire, Tom Woodring, standing in front of home plate, giving Corey Dickerson a look, I think giving him a moment after he fouled that ball off his foot.
Those darn obliques, they bit somebody else.
Wasn't it John Kruk that said if you don't have any muscle, you can't hurt yourself?
He's right.
The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss.
In other words, saying if you had a little more fat, maybe that's what it is.
Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Corey Dickerson. Trevor Bauer looking awfully good in the early going tonight. Granted, there's a runner at second, 1 out. We're only in the third. Bauer ahead of Dickerson here. No balls and 2 strikes. Has one strikeout over the first 2 1/3. He comes set of the belt and now to the plate. The 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball struck him out. Backdoored him, really. That pitch was up and away, and it just fluttered right back over the plate down the middle and locked up Corey Dickerson.
When you can throw that pitch at a couple of different speeds, it really makes a big difference. That time started on the outside, a lot of break down and in right to the middle of the plate.
Like a knuckle curve from Trevor Bauer. And boy, did he nail his target. Barnhart didn't even have to move the mitt. Perfect pitch from Bauer for strike 3. 2 gone in the third, and the batter is JT Realmuto, who flew out to left field his first time up. Runner at second, 2 down. And Bauer to the plate. Swing and a miss, strike 1. No doubt Trevor Bauer is hungry for a good outing. Pitching on short rest tonight. Talking with David Bell about that, I said, is that something that he pleaded for? Or he said he didn't really plead for it. He just was in a situation where he said, if you ever need somebody to go on short rest, I would be more than happy to be the guy to do it. I remember before his last start, he threw a live bullpen session in Miami. Threw the live hitters instead of the side in the bullpen. Felt like he would better simulate game action that way if there were actually hitters standing in against him.
I'll say the majority of competitors that I've seen or played with, after they've had a little rough outing, they can't wait till the next outing where they can try to right the ship.
You certainly get that sense with Trevor Bauer. Right-hander comes set. Now to the plate. The pitch is off the outside corner of ball. 1 ball, 1 strike on Realmuto. Reds are up 5-0. Phillies batting in the third. Third of 4 between these two teams. The Reds right in the middle of their 7-game homestand. Diamondbacks will be in next. The pitch. There's a strike called over the outer half. Feels like he's going to the fastball quite a bit tonight. At least early on in this outing.
And he started the game with doing that. And he's located it really well. It's not just down the middle. He's been able to hit the corner, both up and down in the strike zone.
Very aggressive tonight, which is a really good sign for this right-hander. Now he's home with a 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Back-to-back strikeouts after Aaron Nola doubles in the third.
Cincinnati Reds, 700 WLW.
The Reds have a 5-0 lead on the Phillies as Cincinnati comes to bat in the third. Aaron Nola, after running the bases, just now getting out to the mound to begin his warm-up tosses. Split the Pot tickets are now available online for every Reds home game. Support the Reds Community Fund, and you could be a winner. Purchase your Split the Pot ticket now at Reds5050.com. Must be 18 and older, and ticket has to be purchased in Ohio. The Reds will send up Freddie Galvis, Phillip Ervin, and Brian O'Grady in this third inning. And Doug, you were talking about how good Trevor Bauer looks early on in this game, and he's only given up 2 hits. One of those was the double to the left center field gap by Aaron Nola. The other just a single by Gene Segura, but looks like he's doing a nice job of attacking right now with his fastball.
Well, just heard from our buddy Danny Graves, who broadcast too. He said not only is he using that fastball, but he's throwing the contact as well. So he's not afraid to let his defense help him. And he's getting ahead of hitters and using that breaking ball just sparingly, but he's been able to locate the fastball all over the zone, which has been excellent.
He has 3 strikeouts, but it doesn't have the feeling as though he's trying to strike everybody out. In essence, is what Danny's saying, which is a good sign for Trevor Bauer.
And did you know that we have a very important announcement?
I knew there was one coming. I was just waiting for the moment.
Well, it's just the Toyota Tundra Home Run Challenge, and our contestant is Danielle Mormon of West Chester, Ohio. And if a home run hit by a Reds player during tonight's game hits the Toyota sign located between the PNC Power Stacks, Danielle, you will win a brand new 2019 Tundra courtesy of your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. So let's do it.
All right. Good luck, Danielle. First pitch missing outside for ball 1 to Freddie Galvis. Struck out his first time up. So it's been fun seeing some of his old teammates and friends with the Phillies in town. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Galvis takes a breaking ball up and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Galvis struck out his first time up. He's been in a really tough slump right now. He is just 1 for his last 31. Hitless in his last 10 trips to the plate. Galvis waits on the 2-0, and that misses off the plate outside. 3 balls and no strikes on Freddie Galvis. That, of course, after a hot start with the bat since joining the Reds. It's cooled off, though. Nola steps back into his windup, the 3-0 pitch, and Galvis looks at a strike over the outside corner, 3-1. But as you well know, it's virtually impossible to avoid those slumps throughout the course of the baseball season. You probably know that better than you'd like to know.
I was only in one for 11 years.
Here's the 3-1. Galvis turns and rips one to right field. Harper, though, is back to make the catch. Just shy of the track. Boy, Freddie Galvis hit that thing on the screws. But Bryce Harper able to make the play.
And that's what happens, when you're in a slump, you get a little frustrated sometimes. Then when you do bust one right on the nose, it seems to be right at somebody.
Phillip Ervin will bat with nobody on and 1 out. Ervin a strikeout in his first trip to the plate. Five 5-0 Reds, bottom of the 3rd inning. Great American Ballpark, a picturesque evening. Downtown Cincinnati, and now the pitch to Ervin. He takes a strike down the middle. I don't know that there has been a cloud in sight all day.
I cruised around town a little bit. It was beautiful.
In comes the 0-1 pitch. Ervin takes a strike outside corner at the knees, 0-2. Starting to get a little crispness in the air in the evenings as well. The pitch. Ervin pops it into shallow right field. Here comes Bryce Harper. He'll make the catch, 2 outs. No?
Oh, I love that.
Oh, okay.
No, I love that. This is my favorite time of year. I think the fall. The fishing gets good.
I was going to say, how do the fish bite in the fall?
They kill it.
Are they hungry?
Oh, they're hungry. It's really, really good. Weather's good. You can put on a light jacket or short sleeve. It's nice. Leaves start changing.
The leaves here, you've got to imagine. I haven't seen the falls here.
You
along
haven't?
the river. No.
Oh.
But I can only imagine the way it looks there across the way. Brian O'Grady fouls it back. 0-1. Lived in Davenport, Iowa for a little while. And you drive along the river in Davenport in the fall, look across the way and the trees. I mean, it was simply breathtaking. The way the colors reflect off the water, too, was stunning.
Well, you're going to love it here then.
Imagine it'll look much the same.
You'll be staying here for the winter?
That's the plan.
Oh, good.
0-1 on Brian O'Grady. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Swinging and a miss, 0-2. Talk about a guy that's having a good time playing against the Phillies. Brian O'Grady grew up a Phillies fan. Of course, that's where he's from, Philadelphia. So this is a unique experience for him. He's staying in the same hotel he's in town that the team is. He went out this morning, saw Charlie Manuel. Of course, that was the manager when Brian O'Grady was in high school and the Phillies won the World Series. The pitch missing down and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. He said, I took a step and started to go up to him, and then I realized, you can't do that. You're playing against him.
Well, sure you can.
He goes, I thought about going up, asking him for an autograph. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swinging, there's a chopping grounder towards the shortstop. Glove by Segura. He'll make the play in time to first. The out is recorded, and the Reds keeping the Reds off the scoreboard for the first time with a scoreless 3rd. Now the Phillies will send up the middle of their order. Bryce Harper, Rhys Hoskins, and Gene Segura against Trevor Bauer in the 4th inning. Celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month at the ballpark on Friday with Fiesta Rojos, presented by Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. Enjoy pregame festivities, including live entertainment, special on-field ceremonies, a post-game fireworks show, and more. For tickets, visit Reds.com/Fiesta Rojos. Bryce Harper stands in. A walk his first time up. Harper extended his hit streak to 11 games last night, over which time he's hit .295. Harper did so with a RBI single in the fifth. The pitch, Harper takes up and away, ball one. Harper has 100 RBIs on the button, and I was shocked to come to the realization that that matches his career high. The pitch, up and away to Harper. 2 balls and no strikes. I would have expected a few more seasons of 100 plus.
And, you know, he's only, 26, 27, right, something like that. But I'm like you. I would have thought he had more.
2 balls, no strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. 5-0 Reds leading, and Bauer to Harper. The pitch is a strike called over the outside corner, 2-1. Left-handed hitter waits against the right-handed throwing Bauer. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on him that time, and he had Harper way out in front.
Well, the way he is so aggressive to the ball, you would think that you could show him fastball and get him out with off speed, but then sometimes he'll hang in there.
He can surprise you. He's been hitting really well, too. He started slow, but boy, has he come on over the last couple of months. He whacks the 2-2 down the left field line. Phillip Ervin over to have a look, but that'll tail foul out of play. We'll try it again. Harper's hit better than .270 since the 1st of July, and pretty consistently over that stretch, too. He's been right around .270. His season average, somewhat pedestrian for Bryce Harper, a .256 average, but that, again, goes back to that slow start, the 2-2. Fastball, good pitch from Bauer, but it just missed high. He locked up Harper with the fastball.
That's a pitch that Tucker was calling for the pitch before, but he came back with something off speed. So now he's got him 3-2. He's got some options here.
Phillies have had a base runner in every inning. The payoff. And he went back to the fastball and missed higher. Second time tonight that Bryce Harper's drawn a walk. He's aboard, and that brings Rhys Hoskins to the plate, who bounced into a force out his first time up. Hit one on the ground to the third baseman, Blandino. Trevor Bauer would love another one of those.
You know, the first time up, he pitched Harper almost everything inside. He missed with fastballs in. That time he pitched him everything away with the same result.
Rhys Hoskins batting, and the pitch is taken up and away for ball one. Right-handed pitcher, right-handed hitter now with Hoskins at the plate. Harper really short lead at first. Now the pitch is outside. Trevor Bauer has fallen behind the count, 2 balls and no strikes, and this at bat could turn in a hurry and put Trevor Bauer in some trouble. With the Reds up 5-0 in the 4th inning. From the belt, Bauer's pitch, and he delivers a strike right at the top of the zone over the inside corner, and it's 2-1. You're not going to get Rhys Hoskins out early. He is a guy that will see a lot of pitches. He'll be up there. He'll battle. He's a tough out. The 2-1. Popped foul. Back out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Going back to late August, he's been one of the hottest hitters in the Phillies lineup. Reds held him hitless last night, but His last 6 games, he's hitting .400. And that's with an 0 for last night. Tells you how hot he's been. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Strike 3 called. Breaking ball. Dropped right in there. Hoskins is locked up. That's 4 strikeouts for Trevor Bauer tonight.
That may have been his best breaking ball of the evening. This thing has so much bite. You know that pitch right there, Tommy? That's the one that got me into slow pitch softball right there.
They don't throw those in slow pitch softball,
They
do
sure don't.
1 on, 1 out. Gene Segura to the plate. And the pitch is fouled back by Segura. Strike 1. 1 on, 1 out. 5-0 Reds leading it. Segura drops the bat head down to the plate. Now waiting on Bauer. He's slowing down his tempo a little bit here in this 4th inning. Turn and check on Harper at first, who's back in with a head-first dive. I see that Bryce Harper was wearing an Ohio State headband earlier.
Really? I did not see that.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Segura. 0-2. He normally wears the Philly Fanatic headband, but they showed a clip earlier on TV, and it looked like it was a Ohio State. Had the Buckeyes all over it.
Well, when in Rome.
I guess so.
Of course, if that was the case, he'd have a UC on, I guess.
Well, perhaps. Maybe he's an Ohio State fan. The 0-2 pitch. Up and in on Segura. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Are you a big college football fan? You follow?
Oh, yeah. I have trouble this time of year knowing what's going on because I'm trying to keep up with baseball.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But it is a fun time of year for a sports fan.
It is very fun. I have to feel like this time of the year and then March.
Yeah.
The 1-2 pitch. Down and away, 2 balls, 2 strikes, especially in the Midwest because you start to feel the change of the weather. About March, April, we've got the tournament going on in basketball, and then baseball starting up. That's tough to beat.
We had some cold Octobers around here, but if you're winning, you don't really care.
The 2-2 pitch, fouled back. Count holding. It's amazing the difference that makes, doesn't it?
Yeah, really.
Winning and adrenaline, they'll make up for a lot. Harper's on at first, 1 out, still 2 balls and 2 strikes on Segura. From the belt, Bauer back to the plate again with the 2-2. And he tried to get Segura to chase a breaking ball down and away. He wouldn't. And the count runs full. It's 3-2.
Well, just as we talked about earlier, the first part of the game, he's throwing the contact. You know, he's moving the ball around that strike zone. Now, having trouble either locating or trying to be just a little too careful. You got a 5-run lead. Let that defense help you.
Harper a short lead at first, not going on the 3-2. Segura barely got a piece of it. Bauer went to the fastball there, and Segura fouled it back. We haven't seen a lot of really good swings on the Trevor Bauer fastball tonight.
We have not. Well, that's because he's moving it around so much. I mean, he's not afraid to throw it up and in. Then he'll paint the outside corner and bottom and top of the strike zone. He's just missing a little bit with that slider. It's just a little bit outside. If he starts dialing that in a little bit.
The payoff. Weekly chopped up the third base line. Let's do it again.
And that was a pretty good one right there. Segura does a good job of just fouling that ball off.
Full count holding here against Gene Segura with Bryce Harper running at first base. He walked to start the inning. Reds are leading at 5-0. Phillies batting in the 4th. Bauer from the belt deals again the payoff. Swing and a miss. Got him that time. Went back to the breaking ball, down and away.
He took a little bit more off of it, too. But that was just great location. He kept trying to get it out there, finally got it where he wanted it.
It's 5 strikeouts tonight for Trevor Bauer. 2 outs. Bryce Harper still at first base, and the hitter is Scott Kingery. Reds will cheat to Kingery's pull side as a right-handed hitter, at least on the infield. The pitch. Kingery takes a strike over the outside edge. It's 0-1. The center fielder, Brian O'Grady, almost straight away, just a couple of steps really towards right, leaving a nice gap in left center for Kingery, with Irvin playing him straight away and left. Bauer jumps out ahead, 0-1 on the count. The 0-1 pitch. And it's hit to left, hit fairly well. Irvin going back to the track. He's there with room to make the catch. The inning is over, no runs.
At 5 on 700 WLW.
Reds come to bat in the bottom of the 4th inning. It is 5-0 in favor of the Redlegs. Trevor Bauer to lead things off. Bauer walked his first time up. He later scored. He had to run the bases a little bit there. He walked, went first to third on a hit, and then came home on an easy double by Votto. Lined, and Nola goes to work against Bauer. The pitch is a swinging strike. It's 0-1. Nola's had to work tonight. The Reds got to him for 4 runs in the 2nd inning after Joey Votto's solo home run got the Reds on the board in the 1st. Nola's been really good over the last 2 months for the Phillies. The pitch. And a breaking ball down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. You guys talked about how good he's been over his last 14 starts. And that goes all the way back the last couple of months. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Bauer takes a breaking ball that falls in for a strike. It's 1-2. Nola into his windup, the 1-2 pitch. Bauer takes strike 3 call. One down in the 4th, and Alex Blandino's the hitter. Did you see that Nats game last night?
Did
Nationals.
not go a while.
Went into the 9th inning. They were down by 6, scored 7 to win it.
Oh, get some Mets?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wild one last night.
I was reading some of the stuff on the Mets blog. Worst loss in the history of the New York Mets.
I'm sure those were some happy sentiments there.
Oh, my goodness.
Here's the pitch to Blandino. Curveball missing in for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes.
I mean, they're mad if they win. Not exactly right.
It's been a wild season there in New York, hasn't it? They were calling for Mickey Callaway's head for a while and turned things around, climbed back into the race. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Blandino sends it in the air, foul on the right field line. Over to have a look is Rhys Hoskins, but he'll hop up onto the tarp that's rolled away down the right field line and watch it land well back.
One of the things I read said 807 games they've gone into the last inning with a 6-run lead. They're 806-1.
Can't win them all, I guess.
Can't win them all, that's right. Oh, it was. You know, I do their fantasy camp as well, so I stay in touch with a few of the guys there and a few of the players, former players. So it's very common. It's always entertaining.
I bet. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Alex Blandino. Breaking ball in the dirt outside. 2 balls and a strike. Got the Reds fantasy camp gearing up for that, aren't you?
Yeah, we are. And we have just a couple openings, so it'd be a great Christmas present. Sign up. Call over to the Reds Hall of Fame. They can get you hooked up. I think we have just a couple of spots open, but let's fill this thing up. It'll be the time of your life.
When's that crank up? When do you guys head down there?
January. I believe it's the 19th to the 26th or 7th.
2-1 down and in, 3 balls and strike.
And got a new one coming this year. Mr. Rob Dibble will be attending.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. Along with the cast of 25 other former professionals.
3 balls, 1 strike, nobody on, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Landino takes ball 4. He's on with a 1-out walk. Back at the top of the order, Josh Van Meter came through with a big hit his last time up. 2-out RBI single. Van Meter's hit scored Brian O'Grady. At the time, it made it 2-0 and felt like a big run. The Reds would go on to score 3 more with 2 outs. Van Meter himself later scored on the Aristides Aquino double. Nola comes set. Now he delivers. And Van Meter takes 2 low, ball 1. Got any athletes that go to that fantasy camp?
144 of them. Are you kidding me? There's a lot of former college players, and there's just some fans, so you get a little bit of smorgasbord.
Throw to first, runner back.
But for that week, they're all big league.
Everybody's a big one.
That's right.
That's why it's fantasy.
That's right. Shoot, one year I hit second because it was fantasy camp.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, you'd have a blast. You want to go?
Sign me up.
Oh.
1 ball, no strikes on Van Meter. Here's the pitch. He pulls it on a line right past Delano to Shields in the first base coach's box. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know who won't go is Marty's friend, Tracy Combs.
Really?
He talks all the time about going, but he won't. I don't think he can make our lineup now.
Wow. Wonder why.
I don't know. We've tried to get him, and I know he's probably listening, but maybe he's a holdout. I don't know. I just don't think we can afford him now.
I thought I heard that Jim Day might be going this year.
Seriously. I'll believe that when I see it.
1-1. Ground ball headed towards the shortstop. Segura Fields flips to second 1. Around at first. That's in time. Double play. 6-4-3. The Reds are finished off in the 4th. We go to the 5th. Reds are up 5-0. Back to the Hall of Fame.
WLW.
On we go to the 5th inning, and the Reds continue to lead the Philadelphia Phillies 5-0. It'll be Hernandez and Hazley, and the pitcher's spot occupied currently by Aaron Nola to bat here in the 5th. 4 innings of 2-hit baseball turned in by Trevor Bauer. He has struck out 5, has walked 2. And as far as Hernandez is concerned, he induced a ground ball that resulted in a 4-6-3 double play his first time up. .63 pitches so far tonight for Trevor Bauer, who did not like the feel of that ball he was playing with. He throws it to the Reds dugout and gets a new one from plate umpire Tom Woodring. So the right-hander poised and at the ready against a left-handed batting Cesar Hernandez, and the pitch is taken for ball 1. Reds with a run in the first and a big old 4 spot in the second against Nola to give them the current 5-run lead. And there's a foul ball back, and the count's a 1 ball and 1 strike. Now we want to extend our congratulations to our good friend Gary Kidwell. Next Saturday, that'll be September the 7th coming up. Gary on WKKS Radio. He's a sports director there and will celebrate 44 years on WKKS Radio with the Saturday morning sports show at 9:30 a.m. That pitch misses just a bit inside for a low, so congratulations to Gary Kidwell. 44 years on WKKS Radio, Saturday morning sports show, 9:30. Tune him in if you're in that part of the state.
Good man there.
He sure is. 2-1 the count on Hernandez. The line, the kick, and the pitch, and now it's a 3-1 count. He misses badly off the outside edge. And now the right-hander needs a strike, and he got it to run the count full. So far tonight, the Phillies have had one runner in scoring position, and that was the pitcher Nola, who doubled with one out in the third. There's a rocket to right field, and that ball's going to go all the way to the wall and right, and Hernandez can pick him up and lay him down, and he will roll into second base standing up without benefit of a throw, and that's a leadoff double, and that's the way the fifth inning begins for the Philadelphia Phillies. Double number 28 this season for Hernandez. Logan Morrison has emerged from the dugout to pinch hit for Aaron Nola after we find out what Adam Hazley has up his sleeve after the leadoff two-base hit by Cesar Hernandez. Hazley a fly out to center his first time up. The pitch, and it's in for a strike. We talked about the kind of backbreaking schedule this Philadelphia Phillies ball club is looking at between now and the end of the year in terms of trying to secure one of the two wild card berths that would take them into the postseason. And I mean, there's no question that if they are able to get one of those spots, they will have earned it in every sense of the word. They go from here to New York to play the Mets. They go home to take on Atlanta and the Boston Red Sox. And from there, they go back on the road to Atlanta, Cleveland, and Washington. A three-city road trip before closing out the year at home against Miami, the only team besides Cincinnati that they have on their schedule from now until the end. There's a swing and a miss. Hazley's out on strikes that has a less than 500 record. So they've got some mighty tall odds to overcome, but yet they're playing certainly one of the two teams that currently are ahead of them in the battle for one of the two wild card spots. And that, of course, would be the Washington Nationals, and they'll play 4 games in Washington, hitting out 23rd of September. Here's Logan Morrison, 2 out with pinch hitting duty for the pitcher Aaron Nola. Morrison pinch hit last night and bounced into a double play. Bauer checks, Hernandez delivers in a swing and a foul ball.
You know, when I hear that schedule, I'm all for interleague play if they want to do that. But I think the last month of the season, you ought to be playing against the teams that you're competing against.
Absolutely no question. Once again, back in the day when you didn't have interleague play, you could pretty much take it to the bank that the last 30 days you were going to be playing almost exclusively inside your own division. Morrison, a left-handed batter. Down a strike. Bauer pitches, swing at a foul ball back. And just like that, Trevor Bauer gains a count advantage against 31-year-old Logan Morrison, young man who's been around the big league scene for quite a while. Came up originally with the Florida Marlins back in 2010. He played for the Marlins where they were known as the Florida Marlins, then the Marlins when they were known as the Miami Marlins, then with the Seattle Mariners, then Tampa Bay, Minnesota, and now with the Philadelphia Phillies. He's been a real survivor, this guy, breaking ball in. And he can look back on the 2017 season just 2 years ago, in which he hit 38 home runs and knocked in 85 runs for the Tampa Bay Rays. He has not had a season approaching that before, nor has he had a season since that would come even close to the 38 home runs. Prior to that number, he had 23 way back in 2011 for Florida. Two balls and 2 strikes. 1 man out, runner at second. On deck is the leadoff batter, Corey Dickerson. Trevor Bauer working with a 5-0 lead as he pitches in the 5th inning. And he turns his 2-2 pitch loose. And Morrison hits a drive to right, and it's a 5-2 ball game. Got every last inch of that ball. In fact, he drove it into the Budweiser seats that are high above the home bullpen beyond the wall and right. So Logan Morrison, no cheapie at all, as he jumped all over a payoff pitch and sends it out of here to get the Phillies on the board, and it's now a 5-2 ball game. Second home run of the year for Logan Morrison. Here's Corey Dickerson. Dickerson has popped up and struck out. He fouls it off and out of play. Sixth career pinch hit home run if you're counting for Logan Morrison. So only the fourth hit given up tonight by Trevor Bauer, but that was a long one. Dickerson takes way inside a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Had the privilege of stopping by the Philadelphia clubhouse and saying officially goodbye to Jared Hughes. And they don't make him any better than that young man.
I imagine he was as gracious as always.
He is just unbelievable. He is such a pleasant, mild-mannered, always happy guy. That pitch is in the dirt, and he's the kind of guy that I don't care where he plays, who he plays for, what you think of the club that he's playing with. On an individual basis, you pull for him to be successful.
Amen. He cornered me after one of spring training. I was there. He walked up and he said, "Just want you to know he's glad to have you." Are you kidding me? I would have adopted him right then.
I'm telling you. Here's a base hit into right. Trevor Bauer just throws his hands out away from his sides in disgust, as if to say, hey, I made a great pitch, and he got a base hit off of it. So that's 3 hits in the inning now. An inning that began with a 2-base hit, and 1 out later, the pinch hit home run by Morrison, and now a single by Dickerson. To the mound goes Tucker Barnhart, and to the plate comes catcher JT Realmuto.
And Dickerson came out of the box hobbling on that pitch.
Manager Kapler down there, along with the Philadelphia Phillies trainer. Oh, you see something like that, you automatically think hamstring. Conversation continues. He's going to come out of the ball game. They're not going to waste any time at all or take any chance. Corey Dickerson will be escorted back to the third base dugout. And Gabe Kapler pulls that lineup card out of his pocket, scans it, looks toward the Philadelphia dugout, and who will be the chosen one? Flexing those legs as he comes out of the dugout. And Brad Miller is the guy who will come out of the dugout and run at first base for Corey Dickerson. So Miller, who has been a starter in this series at third base in both games 1 and 2, now will come on to run for the injured outfielder, Corey Dickerson, and no doubt will remain in to play the left field position. So Trevor Bauer trying to get his edge back. And Realmuto will try to keep this hit parade in the 5th inning going for the Phillies. If you're listening tonight on your car or truck radio, please remember to buckle your safety belt. This message brought to you by the Ohio Department of Public Safety. If you're not buckled up, what's holding you back? And the pause in the pitch, and it's a swing and a miss. 1 strike and nothing to count on right-handed batting Real Muto, and he swings again. And quickly falls behind it. No balls and 2 strikes. As yes, we take a look at tonight's scoreboard stumper. Brought to you by First Financial Bank. We go beyond banking by putting you first. First Financial Bank member FDIC. 4 National League Rookie of the Year award winners have won 8 or more Gold Glove awards in their career. Fly ball hit back into deep left field, and it's a 1-run ball game just like that. You talk about going south right now, and that is what's happening right now in a free fall for Trevor Bauer. A 2-run home run to Logan Morrison, and a 2-run home run on JT Real Muto, and what makes it even doubly tough is that it came on an 0-2 pitch. 21st home run for Real Muto, and the Phillies on long ball power are right back in this game as the Reds have blown all but 1 run of a 5-0 lead. Here's Bryce Harper, who twice tonight has walked, and it really has looked like in both occasions that Trevor Bauer wanted no part of Bryce Harper. And here he is now with 4 runs in, and he misses inside ball 1.
Could you repeat the question, please?
No, the rules are I'll read it once.
Oh. All right, B.
That's a strike. 4 National League Rookie of the Year award winners have won 8 or more Gold Glove awards in their career. Who are they? 4 National League Rookie of the Year award winners.
8 Gold Gloves apiece.
At least 8 or more. Swing and a miss. One ball and 2 strikes on Harper.
Sure is quiet in the balcony tonight.
Sure is. They're just not quiet anymore.
They jumped right out, didn't they?
That's wrong. I said National League, National League Rookie of the Year award winners. You let me know when Ken Griffey Jr. last won the National League Rookie of the Year award. Here's a rocket into left center. Caught on the run. Nice grab by Brian O'Grady. And I mean, he flat-picked Bryce Harper and took extra bases away from him. A much-needed out for Trevor Bauer, and he can tip his cap to Brian O'Grady for making a great running catch toward the alley in left center field.
Was Mike Schmidt? Maybe.
Well, the answer to that question is a big O-N-O.
You know, you're taking a lot of delight in saying no on these things, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
All right.
I mean, you came up with Johnny Bench.
That was a good one.
It's a very good one.
National.
Here's Rhys Hoskins at a very high fly ball. Will be caught by O'Grady, moving again toward left center, but this one much easier, and the inning is over. However, the Phillies.
A lot of this Philadelphia Philly bullpen. We get a look at another one. Cole Irvin, lefty, coming in with a 2-1 record, making just his 9th appearance. A 7.98 ERA. He's only pitched in 3 games, just a total of 29 innings. But the Phillies have moved within 1 run of the Reds.
That they have, and the first pitch on the way is swung on and grounded hard to first. Hoskins goes down on a knee and then feeds on to Irvin covering to retire Joey Votto on 1 pitch. One more time, this First Financial scoreboard stumper. 4 National League Rookie of the Year award winners have won 8 or more Gold Glove awards in their career. Who are they? You all have come up with Johnny Bench. I'm going to give you the years in which they won the Rookie of the Year. The first one, when I give you the year, it should be self-explanatory. 1951.
You ought to know that. That's the year I was born. Jackie Robinson.
That is incorrect. Jackie Robinson was a rookie in 1947. Golly day, you talk about clowns.
51.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss by Aquino. 1951, then the next was in 1977, and most recently 1997. And that's strike three, and that's all for Aquino, and that's a punch out, the first for Cole Urban. And the 2-out batter will be Tucker Barnhart. Guy to chase a bad breaking ball down. Here's Tucker Barnhart, and he taps one toward the second baseman. Hernandez throws him out, and what an easy inning for Cole Urban. 3 up, 3 down. I'm not going to do it yet. With Doug Flynn, Tommy Thrall, our engineer, producer, our mentor, and spiritual leader, Dave Yiddy Armbruster. Marty Brenneman back at Great American Ballpark. Philadelphia coming off of a 4-run fifth inning, and the Reds have changed pitchers. Gone is Trevor Bauer after 5, and in his place comes Robert, a.k.a. Bobby Stevenson, to the mound.
Well, we're going to get a good look of both of the bullpens, and Stevenson has looked pretty good lately. We've got a good fastball. His job right now, the Reds find themselves in a hole. We're not in a hole, but a 1-run lead. They need him to keep the game right here.
And we'll see how successful he might be as he faces Segura and Kingery and Hernandez here in the top of the sixth inning. Stevenson from the stretch, and he delivers a first pitch strike. So Bauer works 5 innings, gives up 6 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He strikes out 6, and he walks 2. The 0-1 pitch. Off the plate, a ball. So we got Willie Mays since last we visited this question. We have Johnny Bench, and we have Scott Rowland. Now, Willie Mays, among this foursome, had accumulated the most Gold Gloves with 12. All 2. Johnny Bench had 10. Scott Rowland had 8. And the last player, a former National League Rookie of the Year, had 8 also.
An outfielder?
You betcha. Here's a smash to short. Galvis dials up first, and there's 1 out. Pardon me? He is not a former Cincinnati Red. He not only won Rookie of the Year award one year, but he also won Most Valuable Player award one year. And here's the clue to end all clues. And if you can't come up with the answer after you give you this clue, you all will be certified. It'll be called dummies. He won the MVP award with a last place team. Swing and a miss by Scott Kingery.
Was he a San Diego Padre?
No, he was not.
That
takes care of that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
But he did not. He won the MVP award not with the team that he won the Rookie of the Year award. Here's a high fly ball hit to right. And camping is Aquino, and he grabs it, and they're 2 out. Cesar Hernandez. Pardon me? Well, it would hardly be either one of them because I said the guy won the Rookie of the Year award in 1977. You're bordering on the verge of being called a dummy. First pitch, a strike. The answer to this question,
we got an out to go.
I'm tired of talking about it.
We got an out to go.
And this is for you. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's a strike. 0-2 quickly on Hernandez, who got that 4-run fifth underway with a double. He was on base when Logan Morrison hit a pinch hit home run, and after a single by Dickerson, a 2-run bomb by Real Muto. Check swing and checked it in time.
Can you give us a team?
I'm going to give you, well, I could, yeah, but I'm not. Ground ball off the glove of Stevenson, picked up by Galvis. It goes 1-4 to 1-4.
700 WLW.
Freddie Galvis opens up the Reds' sixth inning against the left-hander Cole Irvin and takes strike one, an overhand breaking ball. We finish this thing off. Willie Mays in 51, Johnny Bench in 68. Andre Dawson in 1977 with the Montreal Expos and later won an MVP award with the Cubs. And Scott Rowland in 1997. There you have it. Here's a slow bouncer hit to the charging Hernandez at second, and he throws on to first, and Freddie Galvis continues to be immersed in an incredible slump. Phillip Ervin is struck out and fly to right. Tommy's still banking on Henry Aaron winning the Rookie of the Year award in 1977.
I should have helped you. One of them was one of my teammates. I didn't know he's Rookie of the Year. That's
Who's that?
Andre Dawson.
Yep. 2 balls and no strikes. That's when you were with the Montreal Expos?
Yes, sir.
Check swing, and it's a strike. Not too far. Irvin, a left-hander, and he works fairly quickly. He winds and delivers, and that one a swing and a miss. He threw that ball up in his eyes, and he's come back to get the count, even at 2 balls and 2 strikes on right-handed batting Phillip Ervin. This is another one of those games where the Reds score early, and then, I mean, shut down shop. That one is in the air and will be an out. Left fielder comes on and grabs it as he splits the shortstop Segura and the center fielder Adam Hazley. Dickerson, or rather Brad Miller, makes a catch for out number 2. Bringing up Brian O'Grady. Triple and scored back in the second. He's 1 for 2. Swing and a miss. Reds got a run out of hit in the first inning. That was the Joey Votto home run, then struck for 4 runs on 4 hits in the second. And since that time, they have not had a hit. In fact, the only base runner they've had since then was a base on balls secured by Alex Blandino in the 4th inning. Right now, O'Grady behind in the count 0-2. And this is popped up off of third. Long run, and the ball will be out of play. Cole Irvin's job is to keep the deficit at 1 run. And I guarantee you the Phillies feel very confident over there in that third base dugout. They've got enough offense that they can muster between now and the final out in the top of the 9th inning to get the lead. Ground ball foul. Count holding at 0-2. Brady's still looking for that first major league home run after he ended the year tied Here's a line drive in the left center field. That's a hit. So he has his second hit of the night. He ended the year at the AAA level in terms of numbers with 28 home runs. He and Aristides Aquino tied for the club lead in that department. Now Jose Peraza will come off the bench and pinch hit. But Gabe Kapler is out of the dugout and on his way to the mound and has indicated that he wants to make a pitching change right now. So Cole Irvin leaves after 2 out. The Phillies have made a call to the bullpen. Tri-State 811 Partners in Safety want you to know what's below. Contact 811 before you dig. It's Jared Hughes. We'll tell you
To keep his team down just one.
he'll be facing pinch hitter Derek Dietrich, the left-handed batter with 19 home runs and 43 runs batted in. And the first pitch to him is taken away for ball 1. O'Grady leading at first base with 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th. The Reds leading by a run, and a ground ball hit foul past first base, and it's a ball and a strike. Dietrich back in the box. And the 1-1 pitch. Nope, a throw on to first has O'Grady diving back into the bag. Nola, Irvin, he works an inning in 2/3, does Cole Irvin, giving up a hit, striking out a batter, and the runner at first, obviously his responsibility. Swing and a miss. Dietrich back in the box after staying away for a beat longer than normal. Here's Hughes with a pause in the pitch. And that is just a little bit high and not by much. Squaring things off at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Alex Blandino waiting on deck. 5-4 Reds, each team with 6 hits on the night. Philadelphia has homered twice, the Reds once. The pitch. And that's ball 3. Three balls, 2 strikes. O'Grady off to the races on this payoff pitch from Hughes to Dietrich. Here it is. And it's grounded to the left side. And the pick and the throw on to first is in time.
Then making appearance number 66, which leads this ball club, an 0-4 record. ERA stands at 3. Last time out against the Cards. Pitched an inning, gave up nothing. Hopefully the same tonight.
Really credits his breaking ball and how much he's improved that for some of the progress he's made this season. And really says a lot of that credit is deserved to the coaching staff that he's worked extensively with this year. Swinging strike, and it's 0-1 on Adam Hazley. Hazley is flied to center and struck out tonight. Reds are leading it 5-4. Phillies clawed their way back in with a 4-run 5th inning. Pitch down and in for a ball. 1 strike. Robert Stevenson came in and worked a 1-2-3 6th inning. Now it's Michael Lorenzen. He's to the plate with the 1-1 pitch, and he missed up and away. 2 balls and a strike. David Bell used him quite a bit. Speaking of Lorenzen on that road trip, Lorenzen ended up taking the loss. And one of those games, swing and a miss, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. It was game 1 of the doubleheader on Sunday. Here's the 2-2 pitch. There's a weak chopper. Lorenzen off the mound will glove it, and his momentum carries him right into the baseline, or he just tags out Hazley for the out. That's a 1 unassisted ground out. That'll bring up Jay Bruce. That is Bruce that you're hearing from the Reds fans. Lorenzen delivers to the former Red. Swing and a miss by Jay Bruce, strike one. So he pinch hits here. Nobody on, 1 out, and a 1-run game. Bruce this year hitting .246. Still has 10 home runs. He's knocked in 29. Left-handed hitter takes inside. The count is even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Lorenzen missing that time with the fastball. Lorenzen sets and to the plate with the 1-1. Bruce hits it sharply, but he pulled it on the ground foul. Time outside of first, 1 ball, 2 strikes. .275 lifetime pinch hitter. Does have a couple of career pinch hit home runs, the 1-2. And Bruce drives this one center field and deep. Back goes O'Grady at the wall. Make it 3 pinch hit career home runs. To straightaway center field, Jay Bruce ties the game at 5. And that ball was long gone to center. Now back to the top of the order, and the batter will be Brad Miller. Lorenzen to the plate, and Miller swings and misses, strike 1. For Jay Bruce, that is his 11th home run as a member of the Phillies. Overall this season, it is his 25th home run. Pitch taken low, make that his 20th home run. The pitch, Lorenzen to Brad Miller, it's cut on and missed, and the count's a ball and 2 strikes. Straight up and down stance for Miller. The pitch, swing and a miss, and Lorenzen strikes him out. 2 gone. Well, the Reds' 7th. It'll be Blandino, then Van Meter and Votto due up for the Reds. Corey Dickerson, left foot soreness, the reason that he left the game. Phillies. He came out of this game back in the 5th after his base hit. The pitch to Real Muto, and he takes low, ball 1. He was the one that pulled the Phillies within 1, his 2-run home run. Lorenzen's pitch, and that's a strike called over the outside corner at the knees. It's 1-1. Right-hander against right-hander. Lorenzen's pitch, and it's taken too high. 2 balls and a strike. Bases empty, 2 outs. Brand new ball game, 5 apiece. Each team with a 4-run inning. The Reds in the second, the Phillies in the fifth. The pitch is hit in the air to left. Shallow. And here comes Irvin to make the catch, and the side is retired. But Jay Bruce, his third career pinch hit home run, ties this game at 5 apiece. And we go to the bottom of the seventh, stretch time at Great American Ballpark.
Left-hander coming in, making appearance number 58 with a 3-3 record, a 2.96 ERA, pitched on Monday an inning, 1 strikeout.
Jared Hughes done after just a third of an inning. He got Derek Dietrich ground out to close out the Reds' sixth. 5-5 tie as the Reds bat in the seventh inning with Alex Blandino leading things off against this southpaw. And the pitch to Blandino is a little bit off the plate outside for ball one. One ball, no strikes. Blandino has walked and struck out looking. Alvarez to the plate. Blandino swings through a good breaking ball. Count is even, 1 ball, 1 strike. He's been really good going back to the start of July. Just 3 earned runs allowed over 21 innings. Alvarez, the pitch missing down and in. 2 balls and a strike. Scoreless inning last night. Now he misses away, and it's 3-1 on Alex Blandino. And the Reds could really benefit here from a leadoff walk. And with the left-hander on the mound, Jose Iglesias is in the on-deck circle. He'll bat for the left-handed hitting Josh Van Meter, the 3-1 pitch. And Blandino thought it was inside for ball 4, backed out of the way of what turns out to be strike 2. Full count pitch coming. Here it is. Blandino hits it on the ground, left side. Scooped up by Kingery, the third baseman. His throw in time to first. Blandino is out. There's 1 away. And that'll bring up Jose Iglesias. Originally given the day off today. David Bell saying that, Iglesias has been a guy that's been a workhorse for this team. Shortstop, a pretty high demand position, so wanted to give him a little bit of a break today, and had most of the game off. Now here he is, the pinch hitter.
Well, he had just a great year. 293, I think that's what everybody was excited about because his defense has always been there.
First pitch is taken too high for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. I mean, just an electric player on defense, and then he has been very productive offensively. He's hit over 300 since the All-Star break. The pitch misses down and in to Iglesias, 2 balls and no strikes. The left-hander has the sign. Alvarez sets, and to the plate with a 2-0 pitch. Iglesias stings one to center field. On the run is Hazley. He's at the wall. He looks up, and it's gone. Jose Iglesias, a solo home run to center field, and the Reds are back on top. It's 6-5.
I'd call him in the office right now. Take him back. Put your name on it. We got you for next year. Let's go.
10th home run of the year for Jose Iglesias. But normally it's the 0-2 pitches that he's pretty good at. That time it was a 2-0 pitch that he launched out of here.
And I even thought he might be trying to get a base runner, but no, man, he got a good pitch, and boy, he tattooed that one.
That's the thing that you like about his approach at the plate. He seems to have a really good one.
Absolutely.
2 strikes, willing to go the other way. Now Joey Votto up. Pitch to Votto, and he loops one into left center field. That'll fall for a base hit. Home run, now a single by Votto, and that's his 3rd hit tonight. And that brings up Aristides Aquino. Aquino doubled home a pair of runs in the 3rd. now we'll see a visit to the mound. Gabe Kapler is actually handling this visit himself. He's jogging out there. Now, they had some action in the bullpen, and he's going to go to his bullpen. Pitching change made.
Will be coming in his 51st appearance, but only his 14th with the Phillies. Got a chance to pitch yesterday. One of 6 guys out of the bullpen. Pitched an inning, gave up 2 hits and a run.
Well, Parker ready to go to work now against Aristides Aquino. Right-hander against right-hander. The pitch. And Aquino, a check swing, bouncer to third. Glove by the third baseman. They'll go to second to get Votto. And that's the second out of the inning. The Reds will get a speed upgrade at first base with Aquino aboard and Votto erased, but the lead runner is gone. 5-4 on the out at second base. Two outs, Aquino aboard, and now Tucker Barnhart. He walked back in the first inning. He's grounded out twice since, and Tucker Barnhart, his first ever game, batting the cleanup spot. Parker to the plate. Barnhart fouls it back. Strike one. David Bell wasn't initially aware of the fact that Tucker Barnhart had never hit in the cleanup spot. Talking about it in his pregame comments with the media, but crediting Barnhart. Very productive second half. There goes Aquino. Barnhart shortened a bunt, pulls it back, throw to second. Safe at second base. Aquino with his third steal of the year, and he did it against a guy that throws out almost 50% of the base runners against him.
Looked like he got a pretty good jump that time, and Realmuto came up. Looked like a little one-hopper there, but boy, Aquino gets into the bag hard, too.
Throw looked like it might have had him beat. And we'll see if the Phillies want to take a look at this. And as a matter of fact, they will take a look at it. So they're going to get together. The Barbasol Close Shave Manager Review is brought to you by Barbasol. Get a grip, America, with the new Barbasol Ultra Grip Shaving Cream can. Same great Barbasol formula, new can design. And the umpires go to the headsets. Only question is that lead foot kind of came off the bag as he slid to the outside, but it looked like it might have come off the bag when the trailing foot went in. I don't know that there's anything conclusive there at all, is there?
I can't see anything. If they call him safe, I think he's got to stay safe.
But they will take a look at it. Gives us a chance to tell you that Cincinnati Reds baseball is always live with MLB At Bat. Follow the action with game tracking and video highlights, along with up-to-the-moment stats, standings, breaking news, and more. Download the MLB At Bat app today. It's your #1 app for the Cincinnati Reds. Long look at this. It looked like the throw, Doug had him beat, and then Aquino sliding to the outside of the bag. It was a feet-first slide.
Well, the throw was towards the third base side,
right,
so he had to bring the glove back across of it. And to me, the only question, it looks like he beats the throw. I mean, his foot gets in there before the tag. It's whether they say that he kept the glove on him as that foot came off the bag.
Right. He beat the tag.
Beat the tag, yeah.
Initially.
You know, normally the crowd will react one way or the other when they see all the different replays.
Right.
This crowd's been kind of docile, like, we don't have
And
a
the
clue.
call will stay as called. Safe. And the call stands at second base. So Aquino into second. Tucker Barnhart to the plate. Now with a man in scoring position and 2 outs. Reds are up a run. A solo pinch hit home run by Jose Iglesias. And now the 1-1 pitch to Barnhart. He takes 2 low. 2 balls and a strike. 6-5, Reds are leading it. Bottom of the 7th inning. Barnhart turned around, hitting left-handed right now against this right-handed thrower. Parker from the belt delivers. Barnhart takes high. 3 balls and a strike. Parker does a little shimmy when he comes set.
You know, we all have our little way to get things set, and his is a little different. I wouldn't be able to watch him, I don't think. I have to turn away because he goes through a lot of antics before he throws the ball, and that may be part of his game.
Comes set, wiggles set, pauses, now pitches, and Barnhart sends a fly to center field, playable though. Coming on is Hazley will make the catch, and the inning is over. The Reds, though, get a run. Jose Iglesias comes up.
Lorenzen has served up the game-tying pinch hit home run to Jay Bruce in the 7th. Jose Iglesias cracks a pinch hit home run of his own in the bottom of the inning, and the Reds have the lead right back at 6-5. Lorenzen will be going to work on Bryce Harper, who has walked twice and was robbed of extra bases on a very fine running catch by Brian O'Grady in left center back in the 5th inning. Changes in the Reds' defense. Iglesias remains in the game to play shortstop, and Freddie Galvis slides over to play second. Galvis right now positioning himself in shallow right field for left-handed batting Bryce Harper. And Lorenzen stretches and delivers, and the pitch is way high, ball 1. So close the book on Jose Alvarez. A third of an inning, gave up 2 hits and a run. He surrendered the Jose Iglesias home run, and right now is the pitcher of record for the Philadelphia Phillies. That pitch is hit foul to left, and it's a ball to strike. Wonder what the record for pinch hit home runs in a game is. Phillies have hit 2 pinch hit home runs tonight. The Reds have hit 1.
That's a good point.
3 in 1 game, that's a lot.
If we only had somebody sitting back behind us that would look that up.
Check swing and checked in time. Harper with a 2-1 count. Trevor Bauer went 5. The wheels fell off for him in the 5th inning when he gave up a pair of 2-run home runs to all but wipe out a 5-0 Reds lead. That one is hit very high in the air into center field. And the catch is made by O'Grady, and there's 1 out. Here's Rhys Hoskins. Hoskins, who has gone 0 for 3 tonight. Defense swings around on the infield to the left side. The outfield pretty much straight up against a right-handed batting Hoskins. And Lorenzen sights a sign and comes to the plate, and that one is on the inside part of the plate for a call strike.
Fans, it's time to Ask Marty, where you can ask the Hall of Famer to give his thoughts on any subject, baseball or non-baseball, presented by CPTS. Today's question comes from @RedsRallyTowel.
@RedsRallyTowel. Check swing, and it's a ball to strike.
I think it's a very good question.
@RedsRallyTowel.
Yes, sir. If you had to pick 9 people to broadcast with during your last game, and each one got to do an inning with you, what 9 people would you choose?
Wow. 1-1 pitch, and the breaking ball drops in for a strike. That is tough. Well, I'd start that list with Vin Scully. That would be one. Another one would be the guy that I succeeded here, and that's Al Michaels. Foul ball back, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
You need some help on this one?
That's a hard question. I mean, I've worked with all of you clowns long enough, so you ain't going to be in the top 9.
Yeah, but you got one clown you worked with that you got to.
Well, that's just no question about that.
Right.
That would be Joe, and I'd give Joe more than 1 inning.
There you go.
I'd blow some of these people off. Check swing, and he tried to get Hoskins to chase, and he wouldn't do it. Count even at 2-2. So we got Scully, we got Michaels, we have Nuxie for 2. That's 4. Probably Bob Costas.
Oh.
Here's a pitch, and that's ball 3 in the dirt. Who else? I'm trying to think of some of the guys from way back that are no longer with us. People like Jack Buck, people like Ernie Harwell. The guy I listened to, and when the seed was planted that maybe one day I'd be fortunate enough to do what I'm doing for a living. There's a ground ball slap to the left side, the pick and the throw onto first base by Iglesias, and they're 2 up and 2 down here in the 8th inning, so 2 big outs. Harper flies to center, Hoskins grounds to short, and here's Gene Segura.
We've got 7 innings covered.
That's a tough question.
I remember someone you told me you always admired. I don't know if they would call baseball, but you said you were always a Dick Enberg fan.
Well, I was. I thought Dick Enberg and Don Drysdale was the best tandem I ever heard doing big league baseball on the radio. Unfortunately, both are gone. Drysdale's been gone quite a while, and Dick, of course, shockingly passed away a couple of years ago. Here's a 1-0 pitch, and that's a swing and a miss. And it's a ball to strike. I'd think about that. That's a good question. That's one normally that I could rattle off an answer, but that one requires some extra special thought. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 out here in the top of the 8th inning. And a slow tapper, and that ball apparently bounced up and hit Segura in the face. And the ball goes dead along the third baseline in the grass, while Segura, meanwhile, was bent over at the waist, and it looked like he grabbed the right side of his face or the left side of his face. That ball came up hard and bounced up and hit him squarely on the left cheek and right around the left cheekbone. And he is being administered to right now at home plate with a Philly trainer out there and the watchful eye of manager Gabe Kapler. Wow. You ever had that happen to you before?
Came close on a bunt one time. Ball ran in and came back and greased me, but not. That was pretty solid there.
Yeah. That's like Browning had split his face open in San Francisco that time. They called a doctor out of the stands, and he stitched him up, and he stayed in the game.
Wow.
That's big time now.
Couldn't do that today.
No.
Protocol.
Well, Kapler back to the dugout, but the trainer hanging around a bit longer to make sure. I'm sure the biggest concern would be some type of concussion problem. And Segura dabbing at the left side of his face with a towel, and apparently he's okay.
Something like that happens now, you have to get a clearance from a trainer and everybody, or you, I mean, if they declare that he has to come out, he has to come out. Is that correct?
Right.
I noticed the umpire looked over in the dugout waiting for the thumbs up. Once he got it, play ball.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Segura with 2 out and the bases empty here in the top of the 8th. The Reds with a 6-5 lead, and that pitch stays way off the plate for a ball. Fellow by the name of Nat Albright would be another one. That's the guy I used to listen to recreate Brooklyn Dodger games as a kid growing up in Virginia in the 50s, and came across that on the radio dial one night having no idea what a recreation was. As far as I was concerned, he was at Ebbets Field in Brooklyn. He was in the Polo Grounds, and he was recreating Brooklyn Dodger games out of a radio studio in Arlington, Virginia, and he was really good. So he would certainly be one of them. Here's a soft liner that will be caught by Iglesias at short. Time tonight is Freddie Galvis to start things off here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Blake Parker delivers, and Galvis slaps it foul off the first base side. A pinch hit homer by Jose Iglesias in the 7th breaks a 5-5 tie, and that's where we are with the Reds up a run in the 8th inning and looking down the barrel of inning number 9 as far as the Phillies are concerned, as Parker throws the strike one pitch, and that's swung on and hit well back into deep right center field, and that ball is going to be out of here. Or did he catch it? Did he catch it? Did he homer? He caught it.
Oh, my goodness.
How about that play by Adam Hazley? He timed his jump perfectly, went above the wall in deep right center field and picked off Galvis's bid for what would have been a home run. Blake Parker all pumped up. So one away on a loud out, and here's Phillip Ervin. He's 0 for 3 on the night. Take a look at, again, that Cincinnati Bell trivia question. A mainstay on the Phillies staff from 76 to 83. Right-hander Ron Reed was a two-sport athlete who also played in the NBA from 1965 to 1967. What NBA team did Reed play for? Was it the 76ers, the Royals, or the Pistons? You said the Pistons. Is that the answer you're staying with?
Sticking with it.
The answer is the Pistons. While playing for the Pistons, Reed was also pitching for the Atlanta Braves. He made the decision to focus exclusively on baseball and was rewarded his lone all-star selection of his career in 1968. Ron Reed. He was on that Philly pitching staff when the Reds played them in the National League Championship Series.
They had a good ball club.
What, 76? Yes.
Yeah. Pirates in 75, them in 76.
Right. They had a very good ball club. Richie Allen was the first baseman on that club.
And they had some fun.
Had Luzinski, had Schmidt. Gary Maddox was on that team. Bob Boone.
Yep.
A good ball club.
Boa.
Yep. Larry Boa was the shortstop. 2-1 pitch. That's called strike. Manny Trio, was he the second baseman?
He was. Yeah, they had both Phillies and Pirates were really good.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Irvin. If you're wondering about the ninth, it'll be Kingery, Hernandez, and Hazley, the lineup of Philadelphia batters, and I would imagine it'll be Raisel Iglesias coming on to try and secure the 1-run lead and the resulting victory. 3-2 the count now on Irvin.
Okay, you got 1 inning to go on your
I do, don't I?
Yep.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a foul ball straight back.
I think you and Dizzy Dean would have worked well together.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Blake Parker to Phillip Ervin. He went around, or did he? He checked his swing on a fastball up and in. So a 1-out base runner brings up Brian O'Grady, who's already had his first multiple hit game in the major leagues. He tripled back in the 2nd. He singled in the 6th. So he's 2 for 3 on the night as he stands in after Irvin coaxes the 1-out walk from Blake Parker. 6 runs, 8 hits for the Redlegs, 5 runs, 7 hits for the Phillies. And a quick throw over gets the runner diving back in. You know who would my 9th inning guy be? Harry Callis.
Really?
I loved Harry Callis. He'd be my guy.
Well, he was Phillies a long time, wasn't he?
I'm telling you. And what a nice man.
So it's Vin Scully, Al Michaels, Nuxie for 2, Bob Costas, Jack Buck, Ernie Harwell, Nat Albright, and Harry Callis.
Yep.
That's very good.
That's a pretty good lineup of baseball talent right
buddy.
there.
Thank you for that question. That red.
That was a good question. Very good question. The 0-1 pitch coming to O'Grady. Swing and a miss. We have seen Nola. We've seen Cole Irvin, Jared Hughes, Jose Alvarez, Blake Parker for the Phillies. The Reds, Bauer for 5, Stevenson for 1, and Michael Lorenzen has worked a couple. O'Grady in a big hole with the runner at first base. And that's strike 3 call on the outside part of the plate. Michael Lorenzen is going to bat for himself. Well, the one thing he's not done so far this season is to go deep. I'd say he is due to take a nice, easy walk around the bases. And he hits a high, deep drive into left center field. Did he get it all? You bet he did. How about that?
Pretty good call there, my friend.
He was due, and due he did. Driving one into the lower deck in left center, his first home run of the season. And the Reds have really put a hurting now on the Philadelphia Phillies, increasing their lead to an 8-5 count. Gabe Kapler and a trot out of the third base dugout, and he's going to dip into that bullpen one more time. Michael Lorenzen has clubbed a 2-run home run. The Reds lead by 3 as the Phillies go to changing pitchers again. We'll be back in a moment.
It's time for another moment in Red Stockings history, brought to you by Tri-State 811 Partners in Safety. In 1903, the Reds appeared in the first moving picture ever shot of a major league team. Portions of an exhibition game with Cleveland were filmed. Now, here's another important first. Contact 811 before you start any digging project.
Still here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and Alex Blandino will be the man to first confront right-hander Nick Pivetta. And Blandino takes the first pitch ball off the plate outside. Close the book on Blake Parker, an inning and a third, 1 hit, 2 runs earned, a walk and a strikeout. And Parker is the pitcher of record as far as the Philadelphia Phillies are concerned. Blandino without a hit tonight, 0 for 2 with a walk. And he fouls it out of play. Foul ball. Reds have scored off of 3 of the, counting Pivetta, who's facing his first batter, 6 pitchers that Gabe Kapler has sent to the mound tonight. That's a breaking ball that did not miss by much. They got 5 off of Nola. They got 1 off of Alvarez. They have gotten 2 off of Parker. Oh. Down he goes on his belly. That ball was up and in, and there was contact made, and I don't know whether the ball might have hit the bat or what the case is. There have been no indication by plate umpire Tom Woodring that Alex Blandino was hit by the pitch, but Alex looks like he took that ball possibly off of his helmet. And they are walking him toward the dugout. So apparently he was hit by the pitch. Now he's come to a stop. I tell you, he looks like he is woozy.
He looks woozy. Yeah, that ball looked like it greased his jersey, and I don't know if it got part of his chin, but certainly, because this thing is just bearing in on him. Oh. You know that flap we talked about them wearing?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't become mandatory pretty soon.
Here it is again. As we look at it again, the ball hit his left shoulder and then ricocheted into the face area. And apparently it got him because he really looked a little bit woozy and a little bit shaky as he walked off the field and has been replaced at first base by Eugenio Suarez. So most definitely Alex Blandino hit by a pitch. And now here's a guy whose home run as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning broke the 5-5 tie to put the Reds out in front and stayed in the game to play shortstop. Jose Iglesias takes a strike. That was his 10th home run of the season. I'll tell you what, this young man is a very strong specimen. He hit that ball a long way. This one is chopped to the left side, backhanded by the shortstop, and the throw to first in time. And that ends the inning. The Reds get 2.
Reds now with a 3-run lead. Eugenio Suarez remains in the game after pinch running at third base, and Michael Lorenzen will take over in center field. Iglesias with 28 saves, hoping to build on the last time he was out against the Cardinals when he pitched an inning and punched out all 3.
That he did, and now he'll get Scott Kingery to begin the 9th inning for the Philadelphia Phillies. He who has struck out, flied out, and flied out again. Michael Lorenzen, 2 innings. He allowed a run on a hit, and he struck out a batter. Iglesias turns and checks his defense out. And now goes to work. And it's ball 1. 13,448 show up for tonight's Titanic struggle. 13,448. Started to wind up, stopped because Kingery called timeout. Iglesias studies Barnhart. Pitches, and it's taken for a strike to even the count. 12:35 tomorrow. Final game of this series, and it'll be Sonny Gray, who without any question over the last 5 weeks has been the best pitcher in this club's rotation. 2-1. His mound opponent will be left-hander Jason Vargas, and that means that Tyler Mahle will open the series against the Arizona Diamondbacks in a 7-10 game on Friday night. Bless you. Foul ball out of play, 2-2. Okay, go ahead. Do it. Oh. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Something's wrong with you people. He started, and he was able to stop. It takes a lot of courage to take that pitch right there, but Kingery did, and it's a 3-2 count. Trying to avoid allowing the leadoff batter to get on, although the Reds have some breathing room, and that's a strikeout swinging. Kingery gone. And here's Cesar Hernandez. That's the 6th time that Scott Kingery has struck out in the 3 games in this series. Hernandez has doubled in 3 previous at-bats, and he fouls it straight back. That's a call, strike 2. And Suarez, who had been playing a step or 2 in on the grass at third base, will now back up. I would have to think that the mere fact that he came in to run and stayed in the game to play third base we will probably see Suarez in the lineup tomorrow. And a very high fly ball should be out number 2 of the inning. 3 players converge. Phillip Ervin takes charge in short left and makes a catch. And they're 2 up and 2 down.
Yeah, watching Suarez take batting practice today didn't seem to show any signs of anything bothering him.
Now, the Reds really dodged a bullet. And you probably heard the comments, Bobby Nightingale, when we had him on the radio, yesterday, talking about when Suarez was hit on the hand. And I think a lot of people felt the same way Bobby did, that the season could well have been over. Here's a drive hammered back into deep left field. Ervin going back to the wall, reaches up, makes a catch. And this one belongs to the Reds. A long, deep drive to left off the bat of Adam Hazley is tracked down by Phillip Ervin, and the Reds come out a winner. The first time in this 3-game series with late thunder. Home runs by Iglesias in the 7th and Lorenzen in the 8th to power the Reds to an 8-5 win. We'll be back.